I'm from Indiana. There wasn't a town that we lived in. It was a highway to nowhere and a little cow pasture that turned into a housing development. No one in my family that I'm aware of played basketball. From the first time my mom signed me up to a bitty basketball league, it was so much fun to play.
After his first game, he was on the floor all the time. He had floor burns.
Which I take as a badge of honor.
So the next game, I made him wear sweatpants. He said, "Mom, nobody wears sweatpants." And I said, "Well, look at your legs. You need to put on some sweatpants for the next game." When he was in junior high, his high school coach would stop and pick him up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go to school to shoot around. And they'd have pickup games in the morning before they went to school. Coach Barnheiser, he saw something in Dusty early on.
He would take control of the gym as an 8th grader. We knew right then that we had an opportunity to be pretty good once he got into high school.
Number 12, the junior Dusty May.
I played at Eastern Green High School. I played for Mark Barnheiser, who was a legendary high school player in the state of Indiana at LaPel High School, and then played at Purdue and then later Auburn University. He's the reason that I fell in love with basketball. He held us to such a high standard, and he was so demanding.
I hate to say it, but I mean, we had kids, we got the wrestling mats out and did all kinds of crazy stuff that if I did it today, I'd be working down at McDonald's.
Coach Barnheiser made him run cross country to get in shape for basketball.
We get in a big meet, he'd throw up after the meet. When the competition went up, he went up. I remember the first game, our junior year, he basically said, "We're not gonna lose a game this year." I walked into practice one day and every kid had his head shaved. And I was like, these guys are serious.
Someone told me my son was the ringleader, so I was a little bit put out with that. Dusty said from the time he was in high school that he wanted to be a high school coach. He had been mowing yards in the summer for extra money, and he mowed Larry Rink's and Dave Rutherford's yards. Larry Rink was good friends with the IU program. He decided he wanted to be a manager at IU, so he talked to those two guys.
Ron Felling, he was an assistant at IU, said to Dusty, "Come be a part of our program," with Bob Knight at that time.
Being a student manager was an entry point for me.
Being able to be involved in a program like IU was probably more than he'd ever dreamed of. In '87, when the Hoosiers won their championship, we recorded that on a VHS tape.
Smart takes the shot, and the Hoosiers with 3 seconds. Go ahead.
Dusty watched that so many times that he wore it out.
IU basketball was everything back then.
Indiana wins the championship.
Bob Knight was the state. Dusty hooking up in that program at that time when they were thought of as the greatest thing that ever happened really led to his success.
I look at it as I got a PhD in coaching as an undergraduate, working for who I think is the greatest teacher of all time. Just to watch and observe and be a guinea pig at times and what he was doing definitely accelerated my learning process and learning curve. We would arrive the night before and we'd set up his video library. The next morning by 6 a.m. we had to have a specific donut with specific drinks, a local paper, a USA Today paper at his doorstep. It was my senior year and we noticed that Coach Knight wasn't eating the donuts. Someone said he'd went on a diet and stopped eating as many donuts and I said, well, do you mind if we eat the donuts? They said no, because he might change his mind. I think we learned the hard way. If a problem came up, then we didn't find a solution in advance. And we suffered the consequences. And no one was exempt from a good, hard lesson, but we were all better for it.
The team was on a trip for a game. Dusty stayed back and was doing video stuff, so I went in and watched the game with him in the lounge. Then we went out and shot baskets. I got chills to be on the floor like that with him as a manager at IU. You know, I don't know, Knight probably wouldn't have liked it. I don't know, but he wasn't there.
I had seen other people that had gone through that student manager program and had gone on to something successful. High school basketball was in the rearview mirror. He wasn't going to do it. He was going to do the big time.
Working for Coach Knight, that experience, what you learn, the values, the preparation, the work ethic, all those things ignited and started my career.
For Brooks, it's emotional to play against Dusty. Last year, got to watch it when he was at Florida Atlantic. Brooks got the layup at the end of the game to beat Dusty's rear end.
Down to 10 seconds. Kornheiser looking to go to the cup. He does!
Big Ten Media Day this year. Dusty and I got together and we were talking about that play. He said that they were actually supposed to foul. He was just kind of kidding with me, like, you know, you shouldn't even got to that point, you know, we should have fouled you and stuff like that. He's almost like another brother to me. We really look at each other like family.
Brooks, he's not going to be with us the rest of the year. It's the right decision, but he left it all out there. You know, and I'm sorry I'm getting emotional, but I love that kid. And
when Brooks was shut down, he got a call from Dusty. And Dusty said, when you get done hooping in about 10 years, he goes, I got a coaching job waiting on you. That's just Dusty May.